Our first speaker is Dr. Jaya Bajaj. She will be speaking on family physicians as patient advocates, reinventing primary care practice. Dr. Jaya Bajaj is an American Board of Family Medicine certified family physician with an MBA from IIM Bangalore. She has practiced family medicine in the US for a few years before moving to Bangalore. With an experience of practicing medicine in the West and the East, she strongly believes that medicine is more of an art than science. She believes in empowering and educating physicians and patients alike, and is deeply passionate about creating user-friendly health content and role of social media in healthcare. She also has a master's degree in public health from the US. She is founder of Health Radii, a blog for thought leaders and thinkers in healthcare, and an attempt to initiate dialogue on current issues in Indian healthcare. Welcome, Jaya.
Good morning, everyone. I hope you all have had your morning tea or coffee. So I'll try not to doze you off. I'll be talking about the art of patient advocacy and the role of family physicians, how family physicians fit in the puzzle of healthcare maze. Is this okay? This is one of my favorite quotes, used quite a bit in business schools, applies to leaders. Go to the people, live with them, learn from them, love them. Start with what they know, build with what they have. Although this quote applies to leaders, I think it very well can be applied to the family physicians as well. Ideally, family physicians should be living in the community they are serving, and knowing the community, they can provide much better healthcare. So why patient advocacy? Speak up. I'll go. Is this okay? Yeah. So I'll be sharing two patient stories, patients known to me. The first story is of a lady, 73 years old, in very good health. She exercises, she eats right, she watches her weight, she has a perfect BMI, married with 2 daughters, starts having pain in her belly, which she thought, probably acidity, indigestion, ignores it for about a month, and finally the pain becomes unbearable and she seeks medical care. She underwent a series of tests and scans and is diagnosed to have cancer of pancreas. And that's when her life changes upside down. She spends more and more time in the hospitals, going from pillar to post, meeting one specialist after another, trying to find what's the best treatment plan for her. Chemo with surgery followed by chemo, radiation, no radiation, and somehow they go through a treatment plan. She has one complication after another. Don't get me wrong, pancreatic cancer is ultimately fatal. Everything is fatal. But she has 8 months. She spent most of the time in the hospital. She goes one time with weakness, is found to have low blood count or anemia. She's told she'll just need some transfusion and should be ready to go home. 2 days later, she dies in the hospital. Although her daughters are nearby, the rest of the family didn't get a chance to say goodbye. And the family is left with a sense of incompleteness or lack of closure, whether they were able to meet her wishes completely. Did she need a patient advocate? Was there somebody, this could happen to any of us. And could a family physician here have helped? I'll leave you with that thought, and I'll go to the patient story too. Another patient 65, 67 years old, in perfect health, just has mild blood pressure. He takes one medicine, one pill a day for the blood pressure, perfectly controlled, exercises, but eats what he wants, happy-go-lucky person. He has a bout of food poisoning one day and has several bouts of diarrhea through the night. In the morning, he's feeling weak, but he manages to eat a little bit of breakfast, and religiously, as he would take his pill, he takes his blood pressure pill again the same day. Few hours later, they call the family physician to just check because he's feeling a bit weak. When the family physician tries to speak to him on phone, he's confused. His speech is a bit slurred, and the family physician advises the family to immediately, he gets a bit of a history and worries about blood pressure being too low and is immediately rushed to the hospital. As soon as he reaches the hospital, he is found to be having low blood pressure, early signs of kidney failure, fever, and immediately the treatment is started. He comes out of it, he's given IV fluids, he does fine, he's over the dehydration as well as the low blood pressure part. One of the things he was diagnosed during the hospitalization was an irregular rhythm of the heart, which could be a complication of the electrolyte abnormalities or dehydration, or an underlying hormone disorder, or just a sign of an aging heart. And one of the treatments recommended is a blood thinner. So at the time of discharge, he's being prescribed a pill that thins your blood but also requires a monthly blood test to monitor. It's a medicine called warfarin. And the family physician comes into the picture again, and he tells the healthcare team, hey, listen, I know this person is petrified of needles. There's no way he's going to do monthly blood tests. And the kind of strict diet you're wanting him to follow, which is required with this blood thinner, there's no way he's going to keep up with that diet. So why don't we try another option, which doesn't require monthly blood tests, although it's expensive, but I think this person would be a better fit. And so he's sent home with that medicine. It's a year later, he's doing very well on that medicine, with no complications, and now he has to take 2 medicines a day, blood pressure medicine. So the point I'm trying to drive here is, having a family physician who has known you over the years, who knows your personal health beliefs, your health habits, can add a vital piece of information, can speak for you when you can't. Instead of coming home with a list of medicines that you're not going to take, with the kind of diet advices you're not going to follow. A family physician, if you have a long-standing relationship with family physician, can add a vital piece of information. So what is patient advocacy? You're going to hear a lot about it today. Simply put, it's giving voice to the patients. It's speaking for the patients when they can't. It's following the wishes or the health beliefs of the patients. So as a patient, I think it's very important for you to know your health beliefs and also let them know to your patient advocate. I'm not saying family physician is the only patient advocate, but can act as a very good patient advocate if you have one. How many of you, just with show of hands, have a family physician, have had for more than 5 years? Awesome. Very proud of you. It's very important to know what are your desired health needs. Would you be okay with taking a pill and requiring monthly blood test, or are you a person who will not want to have blood test or month after month? Are your needs, are you just a healthy person who wants to become healthier, wants to go towards the wellness spectrum? Or are you a patient who's critically ill and may end up in ICU. Are you willing? Are you able? And those are the things a patient advocate needs to assess and provide a plan accordingly. Are you a believer or a doubter? Are you a person who likes to try a home remedy before he goes to the hospital? Or are you a person who will take an antibiotic or a medicine, as a knee-jerk reaction? Mild sore throat, I'm gonna take the 3-day course of antibiotic and be done with it. This is one of my favorite paintings. It's called The Doctor by Luke Fields. It represents era in around 1880s. And there are several stories behind this painting, as well as several interpretations that you'll read on web. And I think you can take what you feel like from this painting. One of my favorite interpretations is the doctor and patient being in the center of the painting. A doctor-patient relationship should be center stage, and this is the era when medicine was not really efficient. We did not have medicines, we did not have diagnostic procedures, and all in this painting the doctor has to offer is attention and a keen listening ear. He sits with a grim look on his face, hoping the patient, he's probably sat there all night, hoping the patient will get better. Medicine has changed. Medicine has become very effective now. We have thousands of diagnoses, several thousand medicines to treat them, and several thousand diagnostic procedures. We have gone from an era of no antibiotics to era of antibiotic resistance. So medicine has changed as a science, and so have physicians. And in this day and age, the way I feel family physicians can help, especially in those 2 stories that I've mentioned, is by eliminating medical jargon. Specialists don't have time to sit with you, explain you each and everything, and how they are used to seeing a part of the body. They're really good at it. If you need, if there is problem with liver and you're seeing a gastroenterologist or a liver specialist, he's the best person to treat that. But how is it going to affect your heart? Or how is it going to affect you as a person? They may not have time to speak and explain to you each and everything. So this is where I think a family physician can come in, can explain to you and speak to you in a language that you understand. I'll skip the second part. Communicating the diagnosis to family. You don't want to be given a grim diagnosis in a fleeting 3-minute, 5-minute doctor visit. So having a multidisciplinary approach, or having a family physician part of the healthcare team who's going to be available for you day after day, every day, they can become a very important part of communicating, especially when it's scary diagnosis or end of life, terminal illnesses. Offer resources. Knowing whether my patient is a believer or a doubter, knowing what kind of health beliefs they have, can help find appropriate resources for the patients. And with the same reason, research and choose a healthcare team. I guess I'm running short of time, so I'm going to skip that. And I'll just end with another favorite quote of mine. Information is abundant. If you Google a drug, you'll be thrown with 100,000 websites, but insights are scarce. And that's where you need a trusted patient advocate who can translate the information into insight. Thank you.